And welcome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here and listen to today. You're going to get so much information out of today. We're talking hormones, so it's going to be really, really interesting. Please check out, if you haven't already, my other two Q&As with Jessica and Ashley. They're on my Facebook page or YouTube, so definitely go check them out. Today, as I said, super interesting. I'm going to introduce you to Leone. Leone is a naturopath, herbalist, and nutritionist from Harvesting Health here on the Gold Coast. And she's also the only metabolic balance practitioner here on the Gold Coast as well. So I'm going to introduce you to her. Leone, hi, and thank you so much for being here today, especially on a Friday afternoon. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, hi, it's good to be here.
That's great. So we're just going to kick off straight away. If you could introduce yourself, tell us a bit about the work you do and how you got into it.
Okay, well, my name's Leone. I'm 55 years old. I'm a naturopath because, well, for one thing, I have an autoimmune condition, which is a thyroid autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's, and my partner also used to have chronic fatigue. So it was something that I wanted to look at natural methods instead of pharmaceutical drugs that actually alter other areas of your body. Natural medicine tends to complement your body and allow your body to heal itself. So that's basically why I've chosen what I do.
Amazing. Super interesting. We're going to kick off with the adrenals. Can you explain what they are and why they're so important?
Okay, so the adrenal glands sit just above your kidneys, and they're in charge of your flight or fight response. So if we were in the wild, depending on what you believe, whether you believe in evolution or the Bible, at some point you would have been in the wild, and they're there to give you the energy to run away from the bear or the wild animal or the hunter. And it's a quick burst of energy to run up the tree and get safe. So they release adrenaline, noradrenaline, cortisol, all the flight or fight stress hormones. And currently in today's society, we don't have that quick need to run away, but we're under constant stress all our lives because we have a different type of living arrangement where we're always working, we're always doing, we're trying to make money, we've got to support our family. So the stress is not as high, but it's constant. So most people tend to come to me adrenally depleted.
Right. And this would be months or years, because people would be charging through, I would imagine. So, yeah.
It could be your whole life.
Right.
I say to people that most people come to me having lived the life they've lived. They think they can deal with it. They go, no, I'm dealing with it fine, but their body tells a different story.
Right. Cool. So the thyroid, I feel like a lot of people don't really know much about the thyroid. They hear about it, but they don't really know much about it. So could you tell us a bit about the thyroid?
Yes, sure. So the adrenals are part of a system called the endocrine system, and so is the thyroid. So the thyroid sits in your throat, and it's a little butterfly-shaped gland, and it's basically the master regulator of the body. It regulates your periods, how much you bleed, whether you conceive or are infertile. It regulates your heartbeat, your respiration. It regulates your bone density. It regulates your metabolism, which is what it's well known for when people can't lose weight. It regulates your hormones. It basically regulates everything, but it works with the adrenals. If the adrenals are suffering, they'll go, hey, thyroid, I need your help here, give us a hand. And they work together. Given the stressful environment we all have, well, most of us, you're lucky if you don't, the thyroid gets depleted and it can't cope either. So you've got two glands in the endocrine system that aren't working to full capacity.
Right. And you can have low thyroid and high thyroid. So you've got hyper and hypo.
That's right. Yeah. And often you'll have a low thyroid and you might be losing your hair, dry nails, dry skin, sluggish, holding weight, heavy periods,
right.
Infertile. But then when the thyroid gland struggles for a long time, you get the hyperthyroid because the gland starts to attack itself. Our body attacks the gland. It makes you swing from hypo to hyper, and you may end up with autoimmune thyroid.
Right. Stress, as we just mentioned, so many people it's so prevalent, it's huge. As I said, people just continue to charge on, especially women, because they're wearing many different hats. So, they just charge on. But how does stress affect each of these glands, and in particular the endocrine system as a whole?
Okay, so we don't tend to, like you say, women have many hats. Women are generally the nurturers. There's the exception. The nurturers, the caregivers. Unfortunately, society still expects more of women, as in if they're going to work, they also need to manage the house and the children. Often the men are still used to not doing a lot in the houseworking role. And so the woman takes on more and more. I mean, that's her job. That's what she does. She's very good at taking on more, but she's not very good at striking a balance. So you'll find these people that suffer with these two problems. They've taken on a lot of stress. They're holding weight. And so instead of balancing it with like meditation or time out, they actually flog themselves more. They go on a diet or they exercise to excess, which is actually placing more stress on the body. It's not going to resolve that.
Right. With dieting, you just mentioned that, and it being in excess, and we always want to do more of whatever it is. Especially these days. So with excessive or constant yo-yo dieting, how does that affect the thyroid specifically?
Yeah, well, because the thyroid, if you go on a strict diet, the thyroid actually is worse off.
Right.
Also, once you've had a baby, the thyroid generally is worse off.
Right.
So during the time of stress, it tries to create more hormone to cope. But what happens is it cannot. And so you've got this issue where the thyroid just can't keep up with the stress that's placed on it. When we do yo-yo dieting, we don't have enough fats for the thyroid. People who do yo-yo dieting often don't have enough of the macronutrients, the fats, the proteins, the carbs. It's like the keto diet or the Atkins diet. There's always a diet. There's always a fat.
Right.
Whereas we actually need 200 grams of carbs a day to make hormones. We need our fats for our nervous system. And of course, we need our protein because all our hormones attach to proteins in our bloodstream. So we need all those things. And when we're doing yo-yo dieting, it just places more stress on the glands.
So you're saying don't cut carbs, right?
Yeah, we don't cut carbs, no.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Choose your carbs wisely.
Right? Yeah.
I was sitting there this morning having my morning coffee and I watched everyone running into the bakers.
Yeah.
And they're not running because they're not actually quite that fit. So they're struggling into the bakery and they're coming out with bread and carbs. And I'm there and I'm thinking, why is it so busy at the coffee shop and the bakery? Because we are all energy depleted.
Yeah.
And what gives us a boost? The caffeine does, and the sugar from the carbs.
Right.
So those refined carbs are full of sugar. They're not actually like your healthy carbs like millet and barley and wholesome grains. They're your white refined carbs. They give you a kick. They make your adrenals really push. They make your thyroid suffer. And then you come plummeting down afterwards because they can't sustain the energy.
Yeah. But you get to work on time. You just start off fresh and then, throughout the day.
Yep, and then you're worse off as you go. Yeah, that's right.
And I'm sure bakeries and all of that would get a big hit on a Friday when everybody's just tired and they just, got to push through that last.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I guarantee you the bakeries will have more clientele on Thursday and Friday.
Right.
Because it's normally Thursday and Friday we're starting to suffer from our week because we've pushed shit uphill Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And some of us, look, I work the weekends too, but I actually don't eat carbs. Hang on. I don't eat gluten. I eat healthy carbs.
Yeah.
I don't eat gluten. Yeah.
I try to.
Which is bakery items.
Yes. Right. So with, again, sort of going that excess before you was talking about and, upping the exercise and that in particular, when people want to lose weight, particularly women, the first thing they'll do is, up their cardio, whether they're just starting, they'll start with cardio, or if they're already exercising, I've got to do more, I've got to push more, I've got to run more. I know that that's not the best strategy, but could you explain why?
So actually, I've had, I think, 4 women in clinic in the last 2 weeks who were doing exercise at least 7 times a week, in as much as every day, sometimes twice a day. So one woman came to me and she goes, Leone, I need to book in with you again. I'm not losing weight. And I said, so what are you doing? And she told me that she's exercising 7 days a week. And I'm, well, that's why you're not losing weight. You won't lose weight if you exercise 7 days a week.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you get a high from it. Oh my gosh, I used to do it. You get a high from it because your cortisol is racing and you feel good and you feel high. That's your endorphins. But as soon as you're done, you will crash. And these women, all of them needed that mid-afternoon nap.
Right.
If they could, they'd have a mid-afternoon nap. That 3 o'clock where you hit the wall, shit, I need a coffee. And we have a coffee to push the adrenal glands a little bit further. So in this instance, less is more.
Yeah.
We these women, they're doing Tabata. Right. A lot of them. And I'm like, well, no, sorry, you're not doing Tabata. And they look at me like I've taken away their foot. It's a case of, well, no, you can do 2 half-hour sessions of Tabata, because coming to me, they're adrenally fatigued, right? So they actually need extra care. I say you can do 2 sessions of Tabata, but you've got to balance it with Pilates. No, you won't be running on the treadmill. You have to do an incline walk. So these are things that stop the adrenal glands pushing the cortisol out. No, you don't need to push 300 kilo on the leg press. What for? Yeah. What do you need that for in an everyday life?
Yeah.
So it's about exercising wisely, same as dieting wisely.
Totally. I always suggest 3 to 4 days a week is pretty good for exercise, and then any walking or whatever they want to top up with. But yeah,
and something nice, like to be honest, the easiest thing to lower your cortisol is to go and walk in the sunshine at a leisurely rate,
right?
Or go swim at the beach. It, like, in amongst nature, it's there for a reason, and we tend to, I don't know about you guys, but there have been times in my past where I'm like, okay, I'm working these days, I must go exercise, and it's a chore, it's a job,
right? And
it doesn't actually achieve a result.
Yeah, no, totally agree with all of that. That's amazing. So a common issue I see with women that come to me, so we sit down, we do like a consultation, we talk about their history, their goals, their lifestyle, and one thing that's been so common over the years is obviously I talk about their digestion, talk about sleep and all that as well, and energy, and I talk about digestion and how many stools they're passing, and they go to the bathroom regularly every day and whatever. And so common, they come with, just going once every few days, and they think that that's normal, that's what they've been doing for however long. So obviously for me, I'm like, and they come to me for weight loss, so I'm like, no, hang on, we've got work to do before your body's even going to feel comfortable enough to want to drop any weight. So yeah, could you just elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So we should be having a bowel motion at least once a day, preferably 2 or 3 times a day. Really, if your body is working well and your metabolism is working well, you will go and poo after every meal.
Right.
It doesn't have to be within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But generally, if your metabolism is working well. So if you think about the stress of exercising too much or dieting, and your adrenals are involved, then your thyroid's involved. Thyroid will make you constipated if it's not working correctly. Mm-hmm. This might be the issue. If we don't have a bowel motion at least every day, the toxins that would normally be coming out are recirculating in your bloodstream.
Ew.
Yeah. And so you will find people who don't have a poo every day will generally have heavy periods.
Wow.
The body says, if you've got a toxin, we're getting it out. You're not pooing, we'll make you bleed more, we get rid out. If we don't get rid of the toxin, this is what the body says. Yeah. If we don't get rid of the toxin, you will die. Yeah. Toxins are not supposed to be in there. So you may have people who have sinus, rashes, heavy periods, And that's all because the body's getting the toxin out. But no, they go to the doctor and they get something for the sinus, and it's an antihistamine for the rash. And what they're doing is driving those toxins in deeper. Then a few years down the track, they end up with chronic fatigue or an autoimmune disease because they're not listening. These are messages that your body is saying, it's not right what you're doing to me. One woman told me it was too inconvenient to have a poo every day.
What?
Like, seriously, where does that come from? If you were in the wild, you'd be crouching and having a poo at least twice a day.
Wow.
And not think anything of it.
That's crazy. That's when people think it's too inconvenient to drink water. I'm like,
water.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Yes. I have a client who says, I vomit if I drink water. And I go, well, this is a serious problem.
Yeah.
You know, I don't vomit if I have Gatorade in it. I think you've missed the point here. Yeah.
Oh, is she drinking
water? So people have heavier periods because they're not pooing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then,
I didn't know that.
Let's face it, I'd rather have a poo than standing upright and have blood dripping out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Some people have to have a menstrual cup and a pad.
Oh, wow.
Just to cope. Their periods are that heavy. Now, that's estrogen dominance.
Yeah.
And that's because they're not getting rid of the endocrine disruptors in their poo. Their liver's not processing the toxins properly. Your liver's in charge of pooing.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's, wow.
Yeah.
What are some of the more common issues that you see? That's obviously a big one, that you see with the women that you work with?
I see heaps of estrogen dominance, and that's not about your own estrogen. So there can be postmenopausal women who have very little estrogen, but they're estrogen dominant. So the estrogen dominance is the endocrine disruptors in our environment. Mm-hmm. Now that can be the toner in the printer at the office. It can be your beauty products which have xenoestrogens in them. Roundup that the council sprays everywhere, pesticides. I'm just as bad. I have one coffee a day. Your plastic cup that you have your takeaway coffee and you drink it, and the plastic lid, there's a xenoestrogen right there.
Right.
If you heat your food in a microwave, so you buy we're very busy. So stress makes us busy. We go to the supermarket, we buy convenience foods. They look good. They're in a plastic tray. The plastic tray goes in the microwave. The plastic heats up, it leaches xenoestrogens into your food, you eat it, you've become estrogen dominant.
Right.
We have estrogen dominant breast cancer.
Yeah.
Prostate cancer is estrogen dominance.
Right.
People are getting more cancers, and this is one of the reasons why.
Right. And so obviously you want to try to avoid the plastics and all of
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, you buy a takeaway pre-made meal at the supermarket. It might be in the freezing section. It might be in the deli section. Pop it in a glass bowl and pop it in the microwave. Mm-hmm. Maybe take a keeper cup to the coffee shop. Or don't have the lid on it, at least. Have a look. Google xenoestrogens. Have a look at what's in your personal care products. What's in your meds. Think about all these things. What are you taking into your body? And then you only poo twice a week, so it's not coming out.
Right.
Yeah, you can see what's happening there.
Yeah, because your body can, it's only working so hard, isn't it? So if you just keep putting all that crap in.
That's right.
Then,
yeah, we abuse our bodies.
Yeah, totally.
We all do. And you don't have to be abusing it with alcohol and cigarettes. We abuse them by demanding too much of them.
Yeah, right. It's true.
Yeah.
Putting it, always. What's something that people could do weekly or daily that it could just help their endocrine system or their thyroid, or what's something that people could do
for your thyroid? If you were to eat
thyroid
6 Brazil nuts a day, you'd help yourself out.
There you go.
And if you didn't drink tap water, tap water is poison. You need to be drinking spring water, and some of the waters, and here we go now again. You need to be sourcing your water from the supermarket because you don't want something, your water bottle has been sitting in the sun. You take your water bottle to training and it's in plastic and it sits in the sun. It heats up the xenoestrogens that go into your water. So your water's poison.
Right.
So you can't have tap water because you've got the fluoride in it. The fluoride binds to your thyroid hormone and stops your thyroid working.
Right.
It will stop it working.
Wow.
So that's why we have so much of it now.
Yeah.
There's all this fluoride in the tap water.
Yeah.
So you need spring water, but you need it in a glass bottle.
Right. Yeah.
So that's an important, or the steel bottles. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
So that's important for your thyroid. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Great tip. Anything else that you wanted to add or anything?
You really got to create a balance. You got to be nice to yourself. Like sometimes we're working so hard, or I see it. People work so hard. Shit, we got to go train so hard. Right, quick, eat the convenience food in the microwave. Right, we're jumping to bed now. Quick, let's go to sleep. It's all a chore.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like, got to do this, quick, now. It's all a chore and there's really no balance. So for that gym session, if you're doing 7 a week, maybe you'd be better pulling out 2 meditation or mindfulness sessions to at least give your body a chance to have a minute. Because whatever you don't deal with, it will be turned inwards and it will end up being a disease later on. I have one lady who I met on Tuesday. She's confined now to 4 foods. That's all she can eat. She's allergic to preparing them, smelling them, eating them.
Wow.
And that happened April last year. Mm-hmm. She had an amazing amount of stress. And all of a sudden, she became allergic to everything but 4 foods. So if you don't deal with the stress in your life, and it's even the self-inflicted stress, you will suffer later on.
Yeah, wow.
Your body cells know it. They change and they become very inflamed if we keep stressing our body. So that whole hippie thing of a little bit of a mantra and 5 minutes mindfulness, even Calm app, I hear there's some on Spotify or Headspace. Some of just 5 minutes even. If you can't manage a half an hour session, which most of us can't, 5 minutes to think about exactly where you want to be in a few years' time.
Yeah. Too busy. Can't rest.
Too busy to look after ourselves. Yeah. Too busy trying to get pretty.
Yeah.
Totally. Or thin.
Yeah. Yep. Too busy trying to lose weight. Too busy trying to do something. Yeah.
Everybody's very concerned with image still, and I'm very surprised. As I say, I'm 55, almost 56. When I was growing up, image was really important, but it was a very misogynistic society. And people say that it's changed. I don't see evidence that it's changed. Right. I think the women are just as bad about their image, more than their health.
Yeah, totally. Crazy.
And if you're healthy on the inside, you'll see it on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that may be an old girl's ramblings, but I think that's the case.
Yeah, because I get people that, they go, I don't know what mindfulness is just meditation. I'm like, no, it's not just that. It's about sitting down and, not rushing your food, not eating food in front of the TV, being mindful, being present. And there's a whole
being present
to it, it's about being present in whatever you're doing. So, that's really cool what you just said. So thank you. Yeah, I think that's it. Can you tell us about your metabolic balance program and how people can get in contact with you?
Okay, so the metabolic balance program is actually for those people who are struggling to lose weight. So my last client, he's 173 kilos. So he's really struggling. It's a health issue. It's not actually about being a pretty issue. It's a health issue. But the metabolic balance also does balance their metabolism, oddly enough. So one lady, she goes to me, oh my God, I've only lost 3 kilos. And I said to her, yeah, but you've had no reflux now for 2 weeks.
Right.
And she's been having it every day.
Right.
So it tends to improve people's health almost as they need it.
Right.
How it's relevant to them. And I do find that if you lose weight and you're extremely fat, what happens is your toxins are released from your fat tissue. And this is another thing that people do when they're yo-yo dieting. The toxins are released from their fat tissue, but they're not pooping enough to get them out.
Right.
Once your toxins are gone, you actually have a better outlook on life. Your inflammation is gone. Those inflammatory things like reflux and heartburn are gone. So it's done on 35 different blood values. You have a blood test and it's your metabolism. It's not a diet. And based on what your bloods say about you. And then the diet is generated in Germany by nutritionists and doctors over there who created the plan. And it's specific for you depending on your case history, your medical history, your blood values, the food preferences you like. And it's made for you. It's a 4-phase program. And what happens is when you pay for the program outright, you get me 7 times during that course as 7 naturopathic consultations. So I help you along with different little supplements to make sure you get where you need to be going.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. Yeah.
It is a good program. My partner was one of the first people to go on it, and he's lost 11 kilos now since the beginning of January. So that's 8 weeks,
Yeah, wow.
7 weeks, 8 weeks. He's lost 11 kilos. A lady yesterday, she's lost 15 centimetres all over.
Wow, that's great.
And that's amazing because she'd only lost 3 kilos. But the fluid and the puffiness was gone, and that's a significant symptom of inflammation in the body.
Right. Yeah. That's
People can be skinny fat.
Yeah, totally. Right. Yeah.
And that's just inflammation. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Amazing. I feel like, I don't know, I could probably talk all day, but I think that's it. That's all I had anyway. So yeah, thank you so much for today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Just let everybody know where they can find you.
Okay, so my website is harvestinghealth.com.au. My Facebook page is Harvesting Health. And my Instagram is Leone, Leone, 3609 _harvesting_health. And you can follow me there. I'm at Coomera and I'm on the Dream World side of the highway.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Leone. I really do appreciate it, especially on a Friday afternoon. So thank you.
No problem at all. Nice to be here.
I know the viewers will too. So thanks again.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.